Okay, so here we are with quiz number 12, and this possibly is not the most exciting lecture, if you remember it, but I think it's important for us to know and good things to remember and make sure are in your brain as an engineer. VU meters. So VU meters, in the old days, they were the needles that went back and forth and told you how loud something was. Now, right on behind me, we see there are LED lights that are bouncing up and down, and they leave a little bit up at the top when it's at the loudest point, I think, in the last 2 seconds. Anyway, I'm sure we went over all of that. But the point of the first question is that those meters do not react instantly. In the bad old days, it was partially because you just couldn't get a needle to swing that fast and show accurately exactly where it was. But also, we are more interested in the average volume of something. The RMS that we talked about, it's shown up in a couple other classes, right? RMS, the root mean square, the average of the sound. And so that's what we're measuring with those VU meters. So VU, I've said those two letters several times now. They stand for volume units, which, yeah, I guess they're all made-up words, but it sounds particularly made up to be just volume units. If we put in professional line level, right, that we've talked about in the electronics class, you might be taking at the same time as this. Professional line level, it's going to show up on the VU as 0 VU. Okay, that's, again, sort of that, when we talked about in Audio 1, that's your starting point. That's what everything is designed to run at, is that line level. So why not call it 0? And then you'll see if you're below it or you're above it. Good. Consumer line level on consumer products, that is at minus 10 dB. And if you were lucky, I did not get into the differences between the two scales. All you really need to know, minus 10 dB is consumer, plus 4 professional. Okay, now getting back to what I was talking about, RMS and peak. So if RMS is the average, the peak level is always, always, always going to be louder. So it's one of these things on these true-false questions where I say, if it says always, never, it's usually false. But in this case, it is true. It is true that peak level is always going to be louder than RMS, right? The loudest sound is always going to be louder than the average sound. Okay. So, thank you for watching, and stay peaky.